in 1986 by and it was later adapted into a game for the Famicom in 1987. Now, this game was actually pretty revolutionary for its time because it was one of the first games that allowed you to recruit and summon from a selection of dozens of different monsters. Like, a lot of people hear when they got into this about they think Pokemon. This is actually the game that pretty much started the whole Mon genre. Like, it wasn't the first game that had a lot of recruitable allies. There was an earlier game called NetHack. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Duel Monsters? No, specifically Duel Monsters, the ripoff of Yu-Gi-Oh. Do you remember? Was it Duel Masters, the silver one? Was there a Duel Masters video game? Because I always think of like the least popular Mon collectors. Because you always think Digimon, Pokemon, Mega Tensei Mon.
Since you bring up Duel Masters, it's actually more inspired by Magic the Gathering. Like the manga.
That's true. It's Weeb Magic.
So, yeah, it's not a Yu-Gi. I mean, if anything, it's a Magic the Gathering knockoff.
I'm a Magic hater, so I would not know that. That's true.
But anyway, oh yeah, Megami Tensei 1 came out in 1987, first game. Basically, the game started with the Mon genre, and then it was followed up by a sequel in 1990, which I'll get to later. But in 1992, Atlas released Shin Megami Tensei, which literally translates to new reincarnation of the goddess, or true, depending on who you ask. But this was the game. It didn't really take. It kind of took its own liberties. Like it didn't really use a lot of inspiration from the novel, and it was also the first game published by Atlas themselves, and it was basically what would become the foundation of the rest of the franchise. But anyway, what I'm gonna do for this presentation is
Hold on, you have a question first. Someone asked you a question. Demi Crow wants to know, do you have any body pillows? He's asking. He's not here in person. There's an audience of people who want to know. The first question was, do you have any body pillows? Would you get any? And would they be Megaton related?
I'd get the Nahabino.
Nahabino would be. Well, he wouldn't. He doesn't like Nahabino. Remember?
Dummy Sig Nahabino. Body.
Who would you? All right. Who would you get in Megaton a body pillow of? Serious answers only. You've got to have somebody you'd be like, I want to sleep with that pillow. I have a Hyperdimension Neptunia body pillow. I have no shame. Who? True, but I had to pay money for that still. Walter body pillow. That's a choice. I don't know if that's very law, but I appreciate the honesty. Oh, sorry. It's late. I thought you meant Jonathan. But I was imagining Walter's face but with Jonathan's afro. That would actually be like, Atlas should sell that. That would be funny. If BioWare can sell Mass Effect body pillows, a Law Chaos body pillow would be absolutely perfect.
So anyway, I already talked about how this game was basically a game that was one of the first games that had a large number of people allies. Megami Tensei 2 in 1990, which it also kind of used. I guess it was like it kind of took more liberties from the novel, but it also was one of the first JRPGs to have multiple endings, which may not seem like a big deal now. Back then, it was actually, JRPG genre was still in its infancy, so it was kind of a big deal to have multiple endings.
Can I make one suggestion? I promise this is not a joke. Can you actually use the microphone? It's on.
Because we've got Live and Learn in the background.
Yeah, dude, you don't want to be drowned out by Sonic.
Okay, but yeah. And then we got a remake. We basically got a compilation of a remake for the Super Famicom, Megami Tensei, which actually got a fan translation not too long ago. So definitely play those. Okay,
It works.
now we get into mainline Shin Megami Tensei. So, like I said, starting with Shin Megami Tensei 1 in 1992 with the Super Famicom, 1994, we got sequel Shin Megami Tensei 2. Then we also got a spin-off, kind of, with Shin Megami Tensei If, and this is commonly considered the game that was the main inspiration for the Persona series. Now, after Shin Megami Tensei If, we got a whole bunch of other Megami spin-offs like Machi Tensei, that was a spin-off series. We got Giten Megami Tensei, that was another standalone spin-off. We also got a bunch of mainline spin-offs like 20XX, which was released for mobile. We got SMT9, which was actually the only Megaton, I believe it's the only mainline game to be released on an Xbox console. This is kind of when the mainline franchise, this is kind of when the mainline SMT was doing a lot of experimenting, and they were playing. Originally, SMT9 was planned to utilize Xbox Live. That ended up being scrapped, but it's kind of weird to think that if SMT9 had done well enough, we probably could have gotten most Megaton games on Xbox consoles, but obviously that didn't happen. So, like I said, none of these games, like pretty much none of the mainline games, like the early mainline games, were localized, but most of them have fan translations. Shin Megami Tensei 9 doesn't. I believe there's a translated script, but I mean, if you don't want to play, you can always watch Marshall's video on it. I recommend doing that. But Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2, their fan translation's been out for a long time, and actually, there is an official translation of Shin Megami Tensei 1 for iOS, but that got delisted years ago, and it was only released for iPhone. They never released it for Android or anything.
You all would have pirated it anyway. No one would have bought it.
And Android.
I paid for it.
I actually paid for that one as well.
What would you play it on?
Wow.
Oh, the iPod.
Yeah, I
iPod
had it
Touch.
too.
Yeah, I actually got a first generation iPad that still has it. But anyway, 2003, we got Shin Megami Tensei 3 and Nocturne. Now, Nocturne was the first mainline game to be released internationally. It was released for the PS2, so yeah, it was also a new mainline game, not released on a Nintendo console. But basically, what made Nocturne unique is that it introduced the gameplay mechanic that Megaton or the mainline ST is pretty much known for, the press turn system, where when you attack an enemy's weakness or land a critical hit, your press turn icon will glow, and you'll basically get to move again. So if you give one for each party member, and you have 4 party members, and pretty much, and they all get glowing press turns, you basically get 8 turns. And there are ways to like mess with the turn order so that certain characters can go more than others. It's definitely a lot. But in, I believe, 2009, now correct me on this because I'm not 100% sure. Strange Journey came out in 2009 or 2010?
No.
Okay, yeah. But anyway, we got Strange Journey in 2009. It's a spin-off of Mainline, but it was the first Megaton game to actually target a Western audience. It has a live. It's the first mainline game to not take place in Tokyo. It takes place in Antarctica. But yeah, it targeted a Western audience. It has a very mature storyline. There's a lot of military themes. It's my personal favorite of the mainline games. But definitely recommend it. In 2013, we got Shin Megami Tensei 4 for the 3DS, and then we got not really a sequel, kind of a reimagining with SMT4 Apocalypse in 2016. And once again, these games brought back press turn system with Nocturne. They don't have 3D models like SMT4 because they're now on portable console. But I mean, I definitely recommend SMT4 and Apocalypse. And then just recently, last year, just a couple months ago, we got Shin Megami Tensei 5 for the Nintendo Switch. Once again, it brings back 3D models as a lot of exploration, as the press turn system is. I don't know how I would rank it compared to the other games, but I definitely think everyone here should play it.
To clarify, John, you were half right on Strange Journey's original release. Japanese.
2009 in Japan.
Yes, 2010 in March for the North America.
Hey, Europe. When did you guys get that copy? When that European copy of Strange Journey come out?
They never got it.
Did they put it next to their physical copy of SMT4?
It's an NFT.
Oh my god! If SMT4 with a PEGI rating was an NFT, I would buy that. I would break all of my promises and like sell all of my assets to buy that NFT. That would be the stupidest thing. Wait, because you were asking about 5. I have a question. I know you don't know where you would rank it, so let's make it more simple. Is it better than 1? Is it better than 2? Is it better than 3?
Yes.
Is it better than 4?
Yes.
I think you know the answer.
What about for Apocalypse?
Apocalypse.
Well, we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Strange Journey, Jack Bros, the obvious ones.
It's a better Strange Journey answer. I think I played that game enough to say no.
That's fair.
Apocalypse, I'm not sure because of Apocalypse, it's one of those games where like I'm not a big fan of the story characters, but the gameplay is amazing.
Apocalypse didn't have such a long development time either, so
Yeah. I mean, it's basically it's kind of like an asset with Destiny 4.
it was like the same development pipeline as Fallout New Vegas to Fallout 3.
I don't think anyone's ever looked at Apocalypse
18
like.
months-ish.
Now we move on to the one that most people are familiar with, the Persona series. So yeah,
The
Persona
one
began
person
on
classic.
PS1. It was heavily influenced by the Devil Summoner game. In fact, you'll actually see a lot of you'll actually see select few Devil Summoner characters in Persona 1, and also Tamaki, who's a female protagonist from STF, is also in Persona 1 and 2. But the thing about Persona 1 on PS1 is that when it came out in North America, Atlas did what they basically did a port its localization. They took out pretty much, they took out a lot of Japanese cultural stuff in it. Like they Americanized the character's names. They made one of the characters black, which is kind of a running joke in the fandom.
You can't be racist if you add a black character. You're only racist if you take him out.
Does that mean PSP?
PSP 1 is confirmed racist. It's true. Justice for Mark.
Okay, so yeah, we did get a PSP re-release that fixed most of that, but they also changed the music. So they basically kind of modernized the music as if like what it would get if Persona 1 was made for the current, I guess, not today, but like at the time. Yeah.
I just mod it.
Yeah, that's actually.
You
Yeah.
just get the digital copy, whatever. And just apply it as patch.
Yeah, there's some patch that brings back PSP.
I have a question for you then. How do you know who the director of the PSP game was? It was, who's also the composer. So it's like, I like your game. Also, you, who is known for making.
The PSP version of Persona 1 is bad. I just think it's unfitting.
It's a different tone.
Like they try to make it like all hip and cool.
We, as a society and in this room, can all agree that School Days is a banger, though.
Yeah,
No one doesn't like that song.
I like it.
I mean, yeah, it is. But that song, ever since I seen that anime School Days, that's all I could think of whenever I hear that song. For some reason, I always confuse that song with that anime.
Yes.
Also, I was surprised. I went hearing you refer to as the first name. I realized when I looked at the screen, you're actually like YouTuber I watched when I was first figuring out which one my defense I wanted to know what it was. So I looked up on YouTube and you were the first people picking you up. So yeah, I saw your video on that. Yeah, introduction.
But so okay, yeah. So that's basically the gist of Persona 1. Persona 2, we got it started. It's actually a 2-part series. We got Innocent Sin, which came out in pretty sure it was 1999. Oh, was it 1999 North America?
Nope.
It was 2008.
99 for Innocence in Japan, 2000 worldwide for EP.
Okay. Sorry. Wait, so Innocent Sin came out 1999 in Japan?
Yep.
Okay, so I got that right. Just want to make sure. But yeah, Persona 2 Innocent Sin came out in 1999. It wasn't a first-person dungeon crawler like Persona 1. It went to the isometric view for dungeon crawling, but the gameplay is. It also got rid of kind of the light sort of. I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's kind of like strategy elements, like your position. You have to think about like where your characters are positioned on the grid, but it doesn't really matter that much. But for Persona 2, completely got rid of that. It also had a much darker story than Persona 1, and I think the main reason we didn't get the original PS1 version in North America was because there was a certain German leader who made the innocent. There were also a lot of symbols that would have been controversial at the time. I mean, it'd be more controversial today, but I mean, this came out during a time when people were saying Pokemon was like satanic because
It's actually satanic.
yeah. But we did go get Eternal Punishment, which got the North American release, the original one. And what's kind of funny about this is that we didn't get Persona 2 Innocence Sin until much later with the PSP remake, but Eternal Punishment also got a PSP remake that we never got. So basically, if you want to play these games in order, you have to play the PSP version of Innocent Sin, and then you have to go back to the PS1 version of Eternal Punishment. But now we get into the Hashino Persona games, starting with Persona 3, which was released in 2006 for the PS2. So this is the first game in the series directed by Katsura Hashino, and it incorporated life simulation elements. Like basically the goal of the game was to form bonds with characters, basically in the real, I don't want to say real world, I guess like you basically have like your normal-ish world, and you're basically supposed to interact with characters, form bonds with them, and that strengthens your personas that you're going to be fusing and using in dungeon crawling sections. And Persona 4, which we got in 2008, was also released for the PS2, which the gameplay was pretty much identical, but we got new characters, new story, and several improvements.
Including the actual dungeons.
Yeah, we actually, well, I mean, even the dungeons in Persona 4 were randomly generated, but
It's like Persona 3, like, it's just different.
it's less repetitive.
Yeah, it's kind of, but I like it because the climbing the tower is really satisfying. Like when you get to some block, it's really satisfying.
But anyway, it wouldn't be until 2016 when we got Persona 5 for the PS3 and PS4, and would become the best-selling Persona game. Believe it or not, before Persona 5, Persona 1 was actually the best-selling Persona game. But,
Well, I believe I'm on to you.
alright, thank you for coming. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the world of Persona spin-off. So, like pretty much any franchise that becomes popular, Persona 5 is Persona 5.
Oh, isn't that his stuff?
Oh yeah, that is his stuff. Do you want to go grab so he doesn't forget all the stuff he bought?
Take it with you.
Make him come back. Make sure there's nothing like you want in there first, though. It's a finder's fee.
As I was saying, you know, Persona has got a lot of spin-offs. One of the first one, I don't think it was the first one, but the first, like, I guess the first one to get a lot of attention was Persona 4 Arena. It was a fighting game developed by Arc System Works, they was Blade Blue and Guilty Gear, and it was actually a popular competitive fighting game at the time, and we're also getting the re-release of it in a few months. We also got Persona Q and Q2, which is a first-person dungeon crawl from the makers of Etrian Odyssey. It's really hard, but I mean, these games are a lot of fun. Definitely recommend them. Persona 4 Dancing All Night, which is a rhythm game. It's got, you know, it's basically kind of a sequel to Persona 4. But, I mean, it's a pretty good rhythm game. It's got a story that I honestly enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would. Definitely recommend it. Persona 3 and 5 games. These games are, I mean, the games themselves are okay, but there's no story. They were both released at $60, and you got some pretty bad DLC practices for them, so I just recommend them when they're on sale, and they're on sale a lot. And Persona 5 Strikers, which is an action RPG made by makers of Dynasty Warriors. What?
Now
Oh, wait. Important controversy time. Are you ready for the hard question? This is, there's no backsies, so you have to pick a lane. I won't accept no half answers. Is Persona 5 Strikers a Warriors Muso game?
No.
Great, you're on the right side of history.
I would say it's an action RPG with Muso elements.
There you go. That's all you need to say.
Yeah. Kind of like how Overwatch is a first-person shooter with mobile elements.
Yeah, you guys remember Overwatch?
Oh,
They're making a sequel to that.
don't remind me.
Why?
Let it die, Blizzard.
No.
But yeah, so
Just get F's in the chat.
Devil Summoner series, which is the other game we kind of inspired of some series. It began with Devil Summoner on the Sega Saturn. It's once again it focuses more on its characters. It's not post-apocalyptic setting. You know, it's got a very unique story for Megan. I definitely recommend it.
Thank you for the F in the actual chat.
I recommend it, but we don't have an official English translation of this game. There's apparently a fan translation. Well, I say official. There's apparently a fan translation of this game being worked on, but it's been like
It's not Gideon, is it?
no.
Oh, thank God.
Well, it's by yeah. I mean, the thing about fan translations is that like you know they the development times and stuff like it's all over the place. So we could get it in a few months. We could get it in 15.
Why do you? This is a legitimate question I've always wondered about fan translations. Is it because some of these games are just really niche? Like, why is it like weird? Like, I feel like super weird random games will sometimes get fan translations. Like, remember before the DS game, we had a fan translation for Legend of Heracles on the Famicom. That had a fan translation, but like then we have something that's like a genuine classic, like Devil Summoner and If and other things. Where it's like, I think about it like this, like. Remember, like, when they wouldn't release Final Fantasy games in the West? You'd get those translated instantly. So it's like, I wonder, is like, do we just not have fan translators who like the series? Because like, it's a lot of work. It's like doing a job for free to do a fan translation. You're gonna get no credit. You're gonna get no recommend. Like, no one's like getting paid off fan translations.
Yeah, I mean, it might be hard for because Saturn's like really hard to emulate.
Well, and also,
Well, to be fair, you have the PSP one that you could do for it, but yeah.
Well, actually, that's something I wanted to talk about because I remember hearing somewhere, I don't remember where, this is a long time ago, but there was supposedly a translation of Devil Summoner for the PSP, but Sony wouldn't let them.
Oh, that's not me.
They wouldn't let Atlas bring it. They wouldn't let them localize it because apparently it didn't add enough new content. So I don't know, maybe there's a ban or an official translation of Devil Summoner somewhere in the catacombs of Atlas USA's headquarters, but yeah.
part of the reason fan translations are weird is because you have to unpack the game,
Mm-hmm.
and unpacking the game is really difficult if you don't know how to hack.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
You basically have to be an engineer and a localizer at the same time for free.
and you have to know Japanese. You have to know coding. You have to know like so many things.
Here's a good question. What if you could pick one game in Megaton to get fan translated instantly? What would it be and why? I get it. Yeah. I think easy for me is just EP PSP because it seems the easiest.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is like, it's not. I mean, I would like that too, but it's also like we do already have a translation of that game, sort of. I mean, I've been like.
That's like if instead of getting Return of the King, you just got to watch the last 30 minutes of the old animated Lord of the Rings movie. That's how I view the PSP one. It's like, yeah, it's the story. What?
And you get it on VHS.
You get the VHS copy.
Blu-ray.
But yeah, I mean, Devil Summoner was followed up by Soul Hackers, which, you know, again, not post-apocalyptic, focuses more on its characters, but it also has a sort of retro-futuristic cyberpunk setting. And unlike Devil Summoner, this game does have translation. It has an official translation on the 3DS. I highly recommend this game. I do not think this game gets enough love, but
It's also dubbed, which is good.
yeah, you got Laura Bailey in the Missa.
Oh yes.
But
It's
yeah,
not to like.
Abby is
now,
Anissa.
what's interesting last with the Devil Summoner series, we got another spin-off of Devil Summoner, Rider Duology. Both games are on the PS2, and these these are basically action hack and slash games. Like, I'm not even that big a fan of like action hack and slash RPGs, but I definitely recommend these games. They're a lot of fun. But if you're a physical collector, these games are going to cost you quite a lot of money.
Though, isn't the Rido games that you can get them on the PS3?
Yeah, you can get them on the PS3 store, like digitally. So if you absolutely like have to play an official version, I recommend that. But I mean, the PS3 it's over 15 years old. So if it's I don't even know for sure if it's still up, but if it is,
Oh no, yeah, they're all still up. They're all. It's just $10.
I remember, I think this is like a year ago, somebody said that somebody was complaining that the Mega 10 games weren't available on the store anymore.
Europe, some of them got delisted because the publishing was split between like Ghostlight, Koei, and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, the good stuff's at least still there. You still got the DDS stuff, and I think both I know Nocturne and DDS are still there. I think Devil Summoner might have gotten nuked, but that's a very specific edge case of one region.
Now we move on to Digital Devil Saga, which began before we got. These games are technically two different games, but I mean they're pretty much identical in gameplay. They both came out not long after one another, so I just consider them one game. We got Digital Devil Saga 1 for PS2 in 2005, and it's this is one of the most unique games in the Mega 10 series. It's post-apocalyptic. It's kind of
It's sort of dystopian as well.
yeah, like would you guys call it cyberpunk?
No, I would call it more sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sci-fi dystopian.
Also, shout outs to being the first dub for a actual not Persona SMT game.
Yeah, it's got a good dub too. But yeah, the original story was written by Yu Godai. It combines elements of yeah, I already talked about that. But anyway, it's the first, once again, it's another spin-off to include the press turn gameplay of Nocturne. It's you play Nocturne, you pretty much know how that the saga works. But what makes this game interesting is that it allows, rather than collecting some demons, you basically get to customize your avatar. Your characters, they turn into demons. These are basically, this is how you fight. Honestly, it's kind of like Persona, but yeah, you get to customize your avatars. And the thing about like the story of Digital Devil Saga is that these games, what happened was when they get written is the writer Yu Godai, she actually ended up being hospitalized for a lot of the development, so she wasn't there. So recently, I mean, in the past 10 years, there have been they've been releasing them as novelizations, which is it's basically what the original games were going to be had that whole hospitalization thing not happened, and they're currently being translated by Kevin Frey. As far as I'm aware, the most recent one is Volume 2, but they're still being worked on. But
Can I correct you and give you bad news? They are definitely not being worked on. Bento Books still has the publishing rights, and local mad lad Spencer from Kansas is currently actually trying to investigate how to buy out the rights from Bento Books because the first two copies were not very profitable, and Kevin, the awesome and amazing translator, wants to do them, can do them, but he's not going to do them for free, and also if he doesn't have the publishing rights. So it's in a weird thing of like the publisher doesn't want to put any money into making it happen, but they have all the rights to all 5 books. So sad answer, but I can't imagine it never comes out because they're very good books.
it did take a while before we got Volume 2, so.
Oh, do you want a fun story about Volume 2? Volume 2 was done years before it was released. I remember I talked to the trader. Kevin was like, we had to talk about it off the record at the time, but obviously now it doesn't really matter. It was like he basically did them both back to back, and it was just stuck in, like, you know how sometimes they'll make a movie and they'll just shelve it, or like, we'll release it later, release it later. They did that with the book, where it was just like, it just took forever. But it was done like so long ago.
Yeah, I mean, I remember because like when it came out, I also interviewed him. I think it was like 2017, but you know, he might have mentioned that in the interview. I just don't remember. It was a long time ago. But now we move on to a personal favorite of mine, the Devil Survivor series. So, you know, once again, this game was released in 2009 for DS. Well, it was actually 2008 in Japan, 2009 in North America. But what Devil Survivor did was it kind of combined the wrestler combat of Nocturne with strategy RPG gameplay, kind of like with a grid-based, grid-based combat, kind of like Fire Emblem. But what I personally really like about this game is that it had a realistic storyline. It tackled a lot of controversial subjects like religion, survival, like the human race, like how human behavior changes when they're under a lot of pressure. Because what happens in these games, what happens in Devil Survivor 1 is that Tokyo is basically locked down. You got demons running around, and there's this plan to wipe everyone out in 7 days. So it talks a lot about how human behavior changes. It's really interesting, really well written. I definitely recommend it. Then in 2011, we got Devil Survivor 2, which story-wise, it had absolutely nothing to do with the first game. The gameplay was pretty much identical with a few improvements, but once again, this is another pretty unique game in terms of like negative storylines. It's basically where aliens are invading the Earth and the cast uses the being something program to fight them off. And it also tackles a lot of controversial political subjects. It doesn't have like in Devil Survivor the endings, they were all inspired by the alignments of mainline, but Devil Survivor 2, it's more into the reason Nocturne, where everyone has this idea for the future, and they're all trying to make that future come true. It also got anime adaptation in 2013, and it wasn't very good. You guys seen Devil Survivor 2 animation?
That's kind of how
I remember
started.
watching it for free off the anime channel.
Can we get a moment of silence for the motherland for not getting a physical? Actually, no, not even a physical. DS1 never released outside of America in English.
I have a copy of 2 on
Yeah.
the original DS though.
Yeah, but the first time was overclocked. How crazy is that? By the way, they got overclocked before they got DS2.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Overclock came out before PS2, but I don't think it did actually. I know they came out the same year.
Wait, overclocked in Europe and DS2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could just be basically because poor Ghostlight had to.
2013 or something.
But yeah, so this is one that not a lot of people talk about anymore, the Devil Children series. So this is kind of an attempt by Atlas to be kid friendly. A lot of people have called it a Pokemon knockoff. I wouldn't say it's a Pokemon knockoff. I'd say it's a more kid-friendly version of Megaton, but I think Pokemon has some influence on it. Like, we got Red and Black Book, which were basically 2 different games. We got White Book, which was, that thing that Pokemon does, where they'll re-release the game. Then we got on the Game Boy Advance, we got Light and Dark, which was titled Demi Kids in English, and yeah, I mean, did any of you guys play any of these games? Do you have anything you want to say about it?
I thought about Demi Kids a lot recently when I was thinking about it. It's one of those ones of, this is one of those sad things in the series of like, if someone missed out on these, there's no FOMO really, Like there's not that dude. You're missing like a really pivotal part of the series. It's an interesting piece of the history for sure, but it was just one of those things of it never really rose into any like kind of interest for it. It was like because they were tracing the trend, like you said, of like they were going after the young child market. It just kind of faded into obscurity a lot faster.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those things that, like, people, like, you know about it, but they don't really talk about it, and a lot of people just, they don't really revere it because of, I think just because of what it is, but honestly, I kind of like these games. I mean, I think they're at least worth checking out. But, I mean, that's just what it is. But we also, like, I mean, those weren't the only games. We also got other spin-offs, like, we got Cyriser, which is what they call, we got a whole game. I actually think that aside from Persona, Devil Children has the most entries of any Megaton sub-series.
Yeah, cause yeah, you got what's like 6 if we're including the PS1 port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so now, so also we've talked about other spin-offs. You know, we got Majin Tensei 1 and 2. These were the first games in the series to be strategy RPGs. A lot of people, I see a lot of people compare them to Devil Survivor, but I mean, they're both strategy RPGs, but other than that, they don't really have a lot in common. Majin Tensei 1 and 2 are a lot slower. I mean, I still think they're fun games, but I mean, they are. You don't expect like Devil Survivor 0 or 5. And these games are also fan translated, so you know. But so we also got Last Bible for which released for Game Boy and Game Gear, and you know, once again these games try to be a lot different. They took on a Middle Eastern inspired fantasy setting. They're also I don't know if they were made for like I don't know if they were made to be intended for kids, but they're a little more lighthearted than the other games. A lot of people consider these kind of like the inspiration for getting kids. We also got Ten Megami Tensei, which was released for PC, and it's also the only game in the series to include explicit sexual content. And I actually believe it has an 18 upgrade for the 10. And there is also Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE,
Woo!
a game.
It is a game.
Basic. I didn't. If for those of you that remember or don't remember, there was in early 2013 during one of Nintendo's directs they announced a crossover between Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem. We got near complete radio silence for 2.5 years, and then in 2015 they announced Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and it was a game about idols, and a lot of people wrote it off. I mean, honestly, like I think Tokyo Mirage Sessions is a decent game, but it's I mean, even if you absolutely love this game, I don't really think anyone can say that this is what they expected from Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire.
And what are your thoughts about the censorship that happened with it?
I mean,
The vagina bone.
I knew it was gonna come up.
I think it's dumb, but
Do you remember? Is it? Have you wiped it from your mind? Do you remember what all was removed?
I remember the vagina bones.
But like the actual content of like what they took out.
I mean, like, okay, so you're just like, so just aside from like visual censorship.
Yeah, the content that was removed.
Did they remove one of the songs?
Nope. DLC was removed.
Oh, okay. Was it swimsuit DLC?
Swimsuit, but it was tied explicitly to the DLC of you going to a bathhouse. The boys had a bathhouse trip and the girls had a bathhouse trip. You would get those through there. They removed that, but also interestingly, not only did they do that, they also changed it so that the outfits were different in chapter 2. So when they're all doing those costumes, instead of basically being a Graviar model, the main girl is basically dressed up as like a modern pop fashionista.
Yeah, I know about that. And that was actually pretty popular in Japan. But I mean, yeah, for my opinion on that, I mean, I think it's kind of dumb, but I don't really think it's worth like really copying the game for when
Can we ask you the hard question? We're gonna do the same thing with SMT5. Is this game better than SMT1? Is it a better game than SMT1?
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3, 4? Probably not better than 5. It got higher than I thought you'd let it. I thought you were just gonna do nope, 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 nope. So I appreciate you have your integrity.
And hostess club.
I know there are going to be a lot of negative fans that are going to crucify me for saying it's better.
Someone's gonna clip it out on Twitter. Nyarly thinks SMT1 and 2 are worse than TMS.
We've had people say that.
Like, well, I mean, SMT, their gameplay probably poorly aged.
Yeah. But, okay, so now when it comes to games to start with, this is kind of, you know, it's kind of a difficult subject, but I've thought about it, and personally, I think the best games to start with are Shin Megami Tensei 5, Persona 4 Golden, and Nocturne HD. I say Shin Megami Tensei 5 because, you know, it's new, it's on the Switch, which is a console.
I hope I get copyright striked for this. I just realized I hope I get copyright striked because Darude Sandstorm is playing in the background. Parody, 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 parody.
I played through the entire close the door. Back and replayed some stuff on easy mode.
Parody, 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 parody. Parody, 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 parody. Parody, parody. Parody, 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 parody. Parody, parody. Parody, 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 parody. Parody, 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 parody. Parody, 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 parody.
But there's also DLC mode, which is extra easy mode. I don't recommend doing that. Now, Persona 4 Golden, once again, I mean, Persona 4 Golden isn't all that hard of a game. It might be hard to some new players, but I mean, go quickly playing it, it's not hard at all. It's also on PC, and I mean, it's not even all that demanding in terms of requirements. So I think there's really no reason not to play Persona 4 Golden, and pretty much that's also like why I also recommend Nocturne HD once again it's on PC. It is a little expensive, it's $50, which is kind of overpriced. But I mean,
God, I love you, Demi Crow.
it is difficult on normal, but I mean there is merciful difficulty, but you know, I also think this is a little too easy.
Where would you recommend people play Golden and Nocturne personally?
Like what difficulty?
No. Platform.
Well, I'm not gonna tell people to go out and buy a Vita for Persona 4 Golden.
That was a test. That was a test, and you failed, my friend. Well, to be fair, if you think Persona 4 Golden is too easy, you could think the real difficulty is finding a physical copy for under $80. That's the real merciless mode.
I think the real challenge is finding one that's less than 100. But okay, so the ones I maybe recommend would be Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Devil Survivor Overclocked. I say Devil Survivor Overclocked because like it has most of the elements that define Mega 10 games. I mean, you know, like it's got story, it's got, you know, like it's got a whole like religious story, it's got demons, it has the press turn system in some aspect, but it's also a strategy RPG, which most Mega 10 games aren't. And Shin Megami Tensei 4 because, you know, I do think that kind of like SMT5, it's just the right amount of difficulty, but it's also on the 3DS, which is kind of an old system at this point, though the 3DS is pretty easy to emulate, so if you don't like emulating it, I definitely recommend doing that. The ones I don't recommend you start with, the first is Digital Devil Saga. The main reason I don't recommend you start with Digital Devil Saga is because it is extremely hard, you can't summon demons, and the main reason I say Digital Devil Saga is hard is because you only have 3 party members. It basically
Parody. Parody, 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 parody.
Now, I don't recommend Persona 1 or 2 either, mainly because the games, once again, they don't really have the whole Western aspects that the later games do. They are also kind of hard to access. Like, if you want to play the best version of Persona 1, you have to play it on the PSP or the PS Vita. Same with Persona 2, it's the same. Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, you play that on the PS3, but again, the PS3 is an old console, and I still recommend starting with it because you're going to be kind of confused. And also Soul Hackers, because Soul Hackers, it's very old school Mega 10, no pressure system. It also has a mechanic called Magnetite, which basically need Magnetite to walk around with your demons. If you run out of it, you start taking damage. And demons don't level up. You don't really have a lot of control of what skills they get for fusion. So again, I absolutely love Soul Hackers. I just don't recommend starting.
We have a fan question. Demi Crow wants to know, what are your thoughts on Super Monkey Ball? Where do you rank the arcade one?
The arcade Super Monkey Ball?
Yeah, I know you've played it. There's video proof. You can't deny it.
I played that. I don't remember being that different from the GameCube version.
And when will you be reviewing Banana Mania?
Once I get 100 million subs.
Okay, we have a goal. That's good.
So I want to, before I wrap things up, I do want to talk a little bit about the future of the franchise. And that's mainly because we don't really know what to expect from the future of the franchise. I mean, we've got really the only confirmed release that we've got is the remasters of the Persona 4 Arena. But
1 million subs, he said. Oh, wait, 100 million subs, I think.
We don't know when we'll be getting Persona 6. We don't know if we'll be getting any spin-offs. But what do you guys think? What are you guys hoping that we'll get in the near future?
The anniversary treatment for Persona will be announced this year. So once the autumn final announcement happens, they'll then announce they're doing another year of an anniversary announcements.
That's instead of announcing Persona 6 and giving a bunch of delays, they're just going to keep delaying the announcement.
They'll finally release the phone versions of SMT 1, 2, and IF, still only on iOS.
I'll give us official releases of the mobile Persona games and mobile SD games, like 20XX.
So the thing with those are actually tied up. The rights of those are with the phone carrier. So a lot of those were exclusive with the Japanese phone providers at the time. So that's why you'll never see a good allegory people outside of Japan might understand. There was a Kingdom Hearts V-Cast game. Part of the rights of that was to publish those games on those stores, you had to basically let the phone provider have the rights to publish it there. That's why you would see exclusive cell phone versions. We are not going to get copyright striked on this channel again for Friday. Oh my god. What do you want to see for the 30th anniversary of SMT? Here's the real question. Do you want SMT 5, 2, or SMT 6 first?
I'm going to say SMT 6.
Okay.
A lot of people have been saying they want a Maniacs version of SMT 5. I really think if we use one, I can practically see what we're seeing. But what I want, it's not mainline over, so I don't get a Spark 3.
I was going to say DDS 3.
Yeah. Or what another thing I think that Alex could do is they could give us an HD release to give that Sonic 1 and then that would run up.
Just put it in one box. But
Ooh,
on PS4.
good suggestion by the chat. The chat says Trauma Center X Honey Pop. If you have to think of a way to bring back Trauma Center, Honey Pop's the way to do it. Like you're doing surgery on the models of Honey Pop. So it's like you have to like replace their broken silicone implants.
Here's another idea. How about Trauma Center cross conception?
Oh. But then the rights, they don't own the rights anymore. Spike Chunsoft.
I remember when like Alice released that teaser for Conception 2, I thought it was gonna be a Trauma Center.
You gotta give a cesarean for a star child.
It probably wasn't, but there was this like I wanted it to be.
Did you know that since Atlas published Conception 2 in the West, there was technically Monokuma DLC in Conception 2.
Oh, yeah.
So that means that Atlas has technically published a game with Monokuma in it. It was free crossover DLC. Yeah, there was a PC port.
So that's enough about discussing future things. And I do have three trivia questions for you guys. And like you get a Korean Shin Megami Tensei 5 poster.
Show it off, coward. We're not going to answer the questions if we don't see the poster first.
Prize.
It's just a napkin with the words.
Mega 10 Korea. Sharpie.
No, it's literally a BTS poster. You just put the SMT5 logo on. Is that Jungkook or is that Nahabino?
I got a Blue Factory poster, a Rainbow Fantasy poster, and a couple Battlefield 2042 posters.
Eh.
Bucky dice.
No Vanguard, though.
As that game works.
Let me zoom in on it.
With the number 5, not the Roman numeral 5.
This is going to be a new profile picture.
Okay. Question number 1. What was the first Mega 10 game to be released in English under the Shin Megami Tensei moniker?
Damn it. I can't answer it. You guys have to answer it first, or it's not fun.
Persona 3?
No.
So that was the trick, wasn't it?
No.
You got this, Marcus. You're literally wearing it.
Is it not 10?
No.
I had to do it. I had to do
I
it.
didn't say P3 on purpose.
Any other guesses? It was Taiyou Kids.
Of course it was.
With the logo, no less.
Yes.
They even kept the logo, which was interesting.
You guys want to come up and get your posters for participating?
We want the other questions. We'll seal your posters after.
Okay. Question number 2. Going by original release date, what is the earliest Mega 10 game to be released in English and what was it called?
Oh, you guys have got to get this one, please. Please.
Close. This is kind of a trick question. I said original release date, so we're going by Japanese release date. Jack Rose was the first game to be localized, but it wasn't the early. It wasn't the first.
Wait, so are you saying out of all of the games that have been translated, which is the oldest that we've gotten in English?
Yes. Like officially.
Is it going to be Megami Inbroko's Persona? No.
No, at that point, then would we say SMT1 then?
No, because, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a fan translation. It's an official translation.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, what? SMT1
No.
on iOS.
No, it didn't.
Actually, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
fuck.
was okay. It
What was your answer?
was actually Revelations of Demon Slayer.
You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, SMT would be earlier, by like a year.
It's the name of the RPG developed by Kojima Studio after he left Atlas.
Come on. Oh, if Patrick was here, Patrick would be screaming at his screen right now.
Caligula fact.
PSP, you're close. Come on. You guys got this. Think deep.
Joan of Arc.
No. It starts with a J. Or actually, it starts with an M. The subtitle starts with a J.
I'm just dying in pain. I want you guys to get this so bad.
It was published by Alice in the West.
If only you had your physical copy to show, that would make it even better. Oh no! You gotta tell them. They're not even gonna know what it is.
It's a mouthful as well.
I tell a lot of PSP fans in the audience today.
Well, this is where I was gonna do a Q&A, but we're out of time.
The question is, are we done yet? The answer is yes.
All right, thank you guys for coming. And hopefully I'll see you with my panel.
You have to pimp your YouTube. What do you mean? I can't read that. The screen's blurry.
YouTube.com/C/Nyarly.
Who's New York Arlie?
It's me.
Big tentacle dog match.
My channel, YouTube.com/C/Nyarly. And if you guys are
Woo!